Okay, let's head out to the misty central highlands of Sri Lanka to a piece of engineering that honestly looks like it was grown, not built. It seems to just rise right out of the jungle, and it's holding on to a pretty incredible secret.
And here it is, the most mind-blowing fact about this 100-year-old bridge. Get this, it was built without using a single piece of steel. Not one girder, no rebar, nothing. Just good old-fashioned stone and brick.
So, you gotta be asking, right? How in the world do you build something this massive, something meant to carry heavy trains, without the one material we think is absolutely essential for construction today?
Well, stick with me, because we are going to figure it out. All right, before we dive into the how, let's just take a second to appreciate what we're actually looking at here. This is so much more than just a bridge. It's a work of art.
The first clue to its character is right there in the name. The whole look comes from these 9 absolutely perfect, elegant arches. And they hold up a structure that stretches a whopping 300 feet across this lush green valley. It just slices through the landscape in this one beautiful, flowing line. And it towers 80 feet high from the jungle floor. I mean, when you're standing down below and you look up, you really feel tiny. It's just monumental. But the real magic isn't just its size, you know? It's how it seems to belong there. It wasn't just plopped down on the land. It feels like it's a part of the land, whether it's wrapped in that famous morning mist or glowing in the sunlight.
Okay, so let's get back to that big puzzle. How did they build this beast without any steel? Well, the answer isn't in some futuristic material, but in some seriously brilliant old-school engineering.
This really puts it in perspective. Your standard bridge today, it's all about steel beams, reinforced concrete, and tons of heavy machinery. The 9-arch method, totally different playbook. They relied on the basics, stuff they could find right there.
The genius of it is just its simplicity. They used local bricks, stone, and basic cement. The real secret weapon was the arch itself. See, the weight of the bridge and the train pushes down, and that force actually squeezes the stones in the arch tighter together, making the whole thing even stronger. It's an incredible design that uses physics to support itself.
So, to really get why it was built this way, we have to hop in a time machine. This bridge is a total product of its time, an era of huge ambition and incredible engineering feats.
So picture it, early 20th century. The British Empire needs a way to transport valuable stuff, like tea, from Sri Lanka's mountains down to the ports. In 1921, the 9-arch bridge was the solution to a massive obstacle on this new railway. And now, a century later, it's not just a piece of infrastructure, it's a world-famous landmark. And the bridge is a perfect example of this style. It wasn't just about building something that worked. It was about making a statement. It had to be strong enough to tame a wild landscape, but also beautiful enough to actually make it look better. Form and function hand in hand.
Okay, so what's it like to actually go see this thing today? Well, as you can probably guess, it's become a huge destination, a kind of modern pilgrimage for people from all over the planet.
Yeah, it's a total bucket list item now. You'll see photographers waiting for hours just to get that perfect shot with the mist. You'll see travelers just sitting there soaking it all in, and you'll see history nerds just staring up in complete awe. It's got something for everyone.
And hey, getting there is part of the experience. You can take a beautiful, scenic train ride right to it. Or you can hop in a tuk-tuk and get a really cool tour of the countryside on your way. But if you're feeling adventurous, the 2 or 3 hour hike through the tea fields, wow, that's a journey you won't forget.
All right, let me give you a few pro tips if you go. You've got to get there early. You'll beat the crowds and, more importantly, you might catch that magical morning mist. The light in the late afternoon is also pretty epic. But the #1 tip? Check the train schedule. Seeing one of those classic blue trains chugging across the arches, that is the shot. That's the moment everyone's waiting for.
So when we pull back and look at the big picture, what is the real legacy of this amazing structure? Because it's so much more than a tourist spot or a pretty backdrop for a photo.
It's really a monument to what's possible. It's a symbol of human ingenuity, of solving a huge problem with simple tools. It's about the grit it took to build it. And it's this beautiful, timeless reminder that the things we create can, and probably should, live in harmony with the world around them.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thing to think about. In our world of super advanced technology and complex materials, what can a 100-year-old bridge, built with basically just rocks and brainpower, teach us?
It really makes you question what progress even means and consider the power of smart, simple, and sustainable ideas.